not sure exactly how many people are listening, but I do know somebody is, and that means we need to get down to business. My name's Derek Butts. I'm the CEO and founder of Assist You to Win, the connecting place for winners. First off, I got a shout out to Suzanne Peters. Wow, what you've put together, the speakers that have come before me, and then even those that will come after me. It's been dynamic already. So hopefully you've received so much from this virtual summit. Suzanne, again, we shout out you for all that you've done. Hey, let's jump right in, because I know we're online, you're taking notes. I want to make sure I add some value to your life. Today, I'm going to be talking to you in the arena of sales. For the last 20 plus years of my life, I have built a sales career. Matter of fact, I thought it was going to be a job, but it ultimately turned into a career. Now, too many people don't really like sales. You have this definition of what it is, and some people have this bad definition of really what it's not. So I want to first off define sales so that we have a working definition that we can build upon during our time together. Sales is simply a transaction between two or more individuals. That's all it is. It's a transaction. It's you offering something and somebody wanting or needing something, and then them figuring out what it's going to take in order for them to go to the cash register and for them to sell. During this period and during our time together, I want to share with you some principles. A principle is a transferable truth that will work no matter who works it, no matter where you live, it's going to work for you. So if you're listening from the Caribbeans, or you're listening from the great state of Texas, or anywhere else, I want you to know these principles that we talk about today, they will work for you. Now, all year long, I've been sharing this thought about experience bigger, and I got to deposit this with you at the onset. And the reason for it is because you're here on this virtual summit right now because you want more for your life. I'm reminded when I go to the cupboard or go to my pantry and I decide that I want to make a sandwich, I see the first thing that I go and gather is a loaf of bread. Now, how many of you know we can choose to live our life based on that loaf of bread? What do I mean? When you first buy the loaf, it is a complete loaf of bread. That's a lot. Then when you really get down to making the sandwich, you have to take out slices that come from the loaf. So slices of bread. But when you get to the end, some of you know what I'm talking about. You don't throw away the end or the old pieces. But what happens when your hands go in and out of that bag, there's now crumbs that are also inside of that bag. It reminds me of where people live their lives. Some live their life on the crumbs. What is that? It's just enough. Or actually, it's not enough. The slice is when you're living life on just enough, paycheck to paycheck. You may even have a good job and you like your job, but it's not the abundance. The loaf, you don't really eat a loaf of bread in one sitting. The loaf is more than enough. Where are you at right now? What are you doing in your world? What are you partaking of? Are you living from the crumbs? Not enough? Maybe that's your sales right now. You got a book, you got a product, you got a service, you got a digital download, you have something that you are offering. Maybe you're a speaker or a coach and you don't have enough clients, or your conversion is not there. You're not making enough money in sales and you're at a point where you're like, should I continue on? You know you got something good. You know you have a product that people want, but you don't have a process to sales. So maybe it's a mindset or something that you're having to overcome. We're going to deal with that today. Or maybe you are at the place where you're a slice. It's just enough. You're barely getting by, but you're making it. Can I pat you on the back, give you a high five, and let you know, keep on keeping on? But I want you to know today that the enemy of great is good. And I don't want you to stop just because you're doing a good job, because what's still inside of you is a great job. Then if you're doing a great job, you're living in more than enough, I want us to go to even greater. It leads me to two things. Number one, I want you to declare right now, maybe you go put it in the chat, and that is, I will go big. I want you to put that there. Make up in your mind that no matter what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're selling, what it is that you want to sell, who it is that you are selling it to, that you're going to go big. Yeah, you're not going to play small. You're not going to hide behind. You're not going to allow others to go ahead of you. You're going to tell yourself that you're worthy, you are enough, you're capable, you are competent, and you're gifted. You're special. Matter of fact, you're a woman. You are an individual that knows how to make things happen. Life comes because of you. I want you to get fired up about you. And I want you to decide right now that you're going to go big. The second thing I want you to declare, and that is, I want you to declare that I will grow bigger. I'm going big, but I'm growing bigger. That's what this summit was for. That's what Suzanne has designed Women to Women Academy for, is for us to have in a place that we can be around like-minded individuals and we can go big and grow bigger. Now let's get into our sales arena. What are we going to do? How are we going to sell? What's our process? So years ago when I first got into sales, it was 10 people that got hired at the same time at a dealership here in Irving, Texas, and the dealership name was Westway Ford. We all went through a sales training and then they put us out around other sales people. What I understood then was that if I didn't sell something, I wouldn't make something. I had to learn how to get out of my own way and offer a car to an individual. At this time in my life, I had purchased a few cars, so I understood this process. But I now had to be the person that was going to present this process to somebody. So I learned at that very time that there were 4 components that all salespeople are going to have to learn and master if they're going to be consistent and as well as be successful in the arena of sales. Number 1, they had to know that there's going to be a person inside the process. There was going to be a person. Maybe that's you today. Maybe you have a sales team, but if not, you are that person. So you got to show up and you cannot hide back or play small if you're going to win in sales. So a person. Second thing is there's a product. Now the products can be different. For me it was cars, to you it could be homes, maybe it's Mary Kay, maybe it's a digital download, maybe it's yourself speaking. The product can change. So we are a person, we have a product, and the third thing is we should have a process. What a process does in sales is it causes us to go beyond the inconsistency of our personality. Now, early on in sales, I'm telling you, it was my personality that I relied on. But what I found out was that I was going to have good days in sales, when you were selling something, but you were going to have still those bad days in sales. I had those days. See, we often have some place in sales that we struggle in. We either do one thing well, know the product, but we then may not present the offer strong. Or you may be a great closer, but your product knowledge is not there. So we have to have a process that allows you to be consistent. You don't want to give one thing to one person or offer one thing to one and then not offer it to all. Here's what we say. You want to offer 100% of you, 100% of the products to 100% of the people. Because you don't always know who's going to say yes and who's going to say no. Many times you can miss out on some of your greatest opportunity because we judge the book by its cover. You look at who showed up. You looked at what they came in. You looked at what they drove in. You looked at maybe the history that you knew about them and didn't know that maybe they were ready to do business, but you didn't give them an opportunity. So I want you to know that in your process, what the process does is it allows you to treat all people equal inside there. The fourth portion in this is that you got a person, you got a product, you got a process, and then you got pricing. Pricing is real important. And the reason why pricing is important is because different products have different value. And if you're going to get yeses, you have to allow the value to exceed the price. Price is only relevant when value is absent. So when you will showcase the value of your product, the value of who it is and that you are serving, and those two meet each other, then you start to get more yeses. Now, what's the opposite of yes? No. It is. You're going to get no in the course of our process. But can I encourage you? If you got a good process, you have follow-up happening, which turns your yesterday's no's into tomorrow's yeses. Don't give up on people. Just present your product. And learn how to do it in such a way that it's you presenting your product where it's about them, not just about you. You know, as I'm in management inside of sales, one of the things I found younger sales associates would do so often is that they would showcase the cars that they liked. They would show the trucks that they would want to buy, or the ones that they did purchase. Well, everybody inside of the process has a different thing of value, a different idea of what's important. And so it's important for you to get to know your client base before you present your offer. Now, we're going to teach today, and then I'm also going to go deeper tomorrow, or at another time is what I'm saying, about my system that we use. It's called the ASK system, A-S-K. It's the Ask Sales Closing Method. When you learn this closing method, I'm telling you, it increases your yeses by over 30%, which means that more people are using you, more people are using your product, and then in the end, what? More money you're making. And that's what we want. And so I'm going to share with you that process. But today I want to talk about 3 more things, and then we're going to wrap this up. All right. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about SELL, S-E-L-L, W-I-N, W-I-N. So if you remember this acronym of WIN, it's going to help you in the area of sales. So what's the W? Sell who? The first thing that we sell in sales is we don't sell it. We first sell the who. And that's you. You must learn to sell you before you sell the it. People don't just buy the product, they buy the person representing the product. So I want to ask you something. I want you to go to your profile and check your profile. Look at your profile on LinkedIn, maybe on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. What does your profile speak? When you can't share who you are, what is your profile saying? What is it speaking? What do people get? What vibe do they gather when they scroll through your feed? Are they getting to know the person that represents this business? Are they getting to know a person that is professional, a person of excellence? Or do you have to apologize or make up justification of some of the posts that are there? If so, go clean it up. How about your voicemail? Does your voicemail match you? Do you have a voicemail that is inviting, that is asking people to leave their message? And then when people do you return their call? See, selling you is what happens before you ever get to speak. I like to talk about the different 12s. There's 3 different 12s. So 12 feet away is when you don't get to talk. What do we gather? What's on your website? Do you have a website? How about your email? Does your email work? Are the links still active? See, these are things that you got to constantly look at because you don't want to miss opportunity because you have something that was previously correct but is currently wrong. So the W is sell who? Sell you. Go ahead and put that in the chat. I must, put it in the chat. I must sell me. Yeah. And selling you is not you talking fast or talking good, because everyone knows you're going to talk good about you. Selling you is setting up what it is that you're selling. Listen to this quote. Success is in the setup. Yeah, it's in the setup. So before you present the offer, have you warmed your audience up? Do they know who you are? Do they know what you represent? And matter of fact, have you defined who your audience is? Do you know who you want to reach? And everyone can't be your answer. You want to have an avatar, a specific audience that you're speaking directly to. And when you do, you'll get overflow, but you'll also know all about your audience to the place that you don't miss your ideal client. So sell who? I said sell who? Sell you. You got to sell you. So that's 12 feet away. 12 inches away are what happens when people get around you. The energy, right? The vibe, the feeling, the instinct that they get. You know how it is. You've been around people and you're like, there's something about you that I just can't put my finger on it, but it's something about you. You got that person, right? And then later down the road, somebody sells you something, you're like, I knew it. I couldn't tell you then, but I knew it. Well, that's that energy. What energy do you give off? This is where your attitude is contagious. You know, we can tell when you're griping, we can tell when you're happy, we can tell when you're sad, we can tell. You got to watch your energy. People want to do business with who they know, like, and trust. And then the only way for me to like you is for me to gather from you that you are positive and you're consistently positive. So watch your energy, watch your vibe, watch the things you like, watch the things you share, because those things also represent who you are, what you are concerned or care about. So you got to pay attention to this even on social, because people are picking up that energy from you. Your colors, right? You don't want to have all this dark doom and gloom. You want people to be inviting, where it's easy. The fonts you use, is it easily, can I read it very easy, or is it difficult? So all these things come into selling the who, the you. You got it now. The who, the you. We got to sell the who. What's the second thing? Is sell it. Sell it is you knowing what you know about your product or process or service or you. You have to sell it. I'm going to give you the easiest formula today that you can attach to selling your it. See, your selling your it is your value add. And it's not just having information to have information. It's having information that is relevant to the person that is interested. And the only way I know that is by the questions that I ask. Because again, success is based on the setup. So I got to set it up. So selling it is where I take what's important to you and I bring to light the value of that product. Easiest way to do it is, don't speak to me just about your process. Speak to me about your result. Like when my cameraman comes and he films for me, the result of what he does is greater than if he does it at 2 a.m, if he does it at 4 a.m. It's the result though. It's getting me out in the public and creating exposure for me and causing people to interface with me that I couldn't get to before, and doing it in a way where he showcases the excellence of what our company's about and Assist You to Win. Having confidence on the camera. He makes sure that the angles are right, and he makes sure that it's clear, that the volume levels are correct. All of these things results in a listener listening longer, a person wanting to engage, them hitting the like button, them following us online. These things are the results of a good videographer, a good photographer. Based on the results of somebody doing or using your service or your business, what happens for them? If you learn those 3 to 5 things that are results oriented, that's what people want. One employer told me years ago that he was going to give me a title in my job. And that was good. I wanted a title. I wanted to move up. I aspired that. But then I asked the question, what about my paycheck? They said, oh, yeah, that's going to come. First, we want you to get used to doing the job. Well, I want to ask you a question. What side of the equal sign is important to you? Is it the right side, the answer, or is it the left side, the equation? Now, both are important because I told you earlier you should have a process, but it's ultimately the result. Sales is a results-oriented business, yet it takes effort to get results. So you got to put in the right effort in order to yield the right results. So here, when selling it, the who is you got to be confident, and then you got to connect. That's what I want you to get here. First place is confidence. Second place is connection. I want you to connect, because when you connect to your audience, to your client, it's easier for you to connect your product to what's important to the person. And what's the final thing? The final thing is the N. When we sell to win, we sell now. A sense of urgency, a sense of time is of the essence. If this is a good product, why would we wait to do what's good? Why would we wait to sign up for the academy? Why would we wait to sign up with the speaker that really touched your heart? Why would we wait? Why wait? Don't wait. Now is the time. If you really want to create life change, would you want to wait to create life change? When I was overweight, when I wanted to start losing weight, I kept putting it off. If it was good to do later, it's good to do now. I'm talking to somebody right now. Yeah, I'm talking to you and telling you, this is not the season of your life to put off change. Change right now. You can start change like this. It may be a gradual, but you can start the change right now. I'm telling you, I want to encourage you. Now is better than later. Done beats perfect. I want you to operate from one of our vocabulary words with Assist You to Win. When I coach my clients, I'm going to give you insider secret right now. I always talk about this term called MIIA. Yeah, MIIA is massive, immediate, imperfect action. You want, when you're in sales, people to take action, and you want them to take action now. See, would you want to sell it down the road, or would you want to sell it today? I got you. You want to sell it today. So selling now is presenting with clarity to give somebody the option to make a choice. And I'm okay with either choice you make. But the choice I do not want you making is, I'm not sure. No. I want you either saying yes to my offer or saying no to the offer. No means I have work to do for later. Yes means let's get the business started right now. I'm not sure means either I'm not clear, either I didn't present value, either you don't understand my pricing, something's not right in the I'm not sure. I want you on one side of the track, right? And I know that's probably you too. So selling to win is simply putting together a person that is competent, that's the you, to the it, you connect to showcase how this works for you, and the now, it just speaks about what? Urgency. That right now is the time. Here with Woman to Woman, we're going to be able to put more content like this into your life. Suzanne, I want to say to you again, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for the platform, the opportunity to share just a tidbit of information with a powerful group of people so that they would be better. And I leave you with my last little story. So my last story is my daughter, when she was 9 years old, I would take her to Nova Gymnastics, and there was this rope she would climb. And at the beginning of the workout, the girls could climb the rope, but there was a bell at the top of the rope. And when you got to the top, you would ring the bell. My daughter would climb the rope, get to a certain spot, look up, look down, and then she would stop, and then she would come down. The next time going back to Nova, she would get back on the rope and she would climb. She would look up, she would look down, and then she would stop. She kept getting to a certain place, and then she would look up, and then she would look down, and she would stop. So one day I finally asked her, I said, Soraya, why do you keep stopping at the same spot? Soraya, in her 9-year-old voice, looked at me and said, Daddy, if I go any higher, I may fall. I said, Soraya, but you're so close. She says, I know, but I know how to get down from here. And fear was keeping her from going a little bit further. Here's my point to you. You've made it all the way to this place. You've made it to starting the business, to writing the book, to declaring you're a speaker, to saying you're a coach. You've made it this far. My question to you is, are you going to stop here? Are you going to carry on? Learn maybe what you need to learn in order for you to ring that bell. That's what we're here for. We want you to ring the bell. Remember I told you at the beginning, I want you to what? Go big and grow bigger? That's what we do here at Assist You to Win, the connected place for winners. Hey, until the next time, no matter your age or stage, your race or place, whatever you do, I want you to go win.